If you ask me how to deal with massive amounts of stress, I'd give you two answers. And I would say go to the gym and go to jiu-jitsu, and possibly a third answer would be hang out with your friends. Particularly if your girlfriend breaks up with you or something. Just hypothetically. That's probably what I would prescribe. The only issue is you can only distract yourself for so many of those 12 hours you're awake. And so at some point, you have to sit alone in the room, in the quietness with your thoughts. And you cannot really escape that. You have to feel those feelings to get past them. You're never going to slay a dragon that you keep avoiding. And that's all life is just a series of dragons that continue to get bigger and bigger. And they're fucking scary, some of them. But the thing about slaying a dragon is that your sword gets sharper, your skills get better, and you eventually become a more competent, well-rounded warrior of life. And so whatever your dragon is, just fucking look at it and just fight it. Just go to war with it. Because if you're given two options, I think I've said this in every video for the past week. If you're given two options, one is easier in the short term and one of them's harder in the short term, always choose the one that's harder in the short term. Because that's where the dragon is. And so if you avoid the dragon, it only gets bigger while you're away. You gotta, it's like, imagine zombies 100 yards away. I know me, if I see zombies lining up 100 yards away, I'm gonna want to take them out as soon as fucking possible. Because I know the closer and closer they get, the more dangerous they're gonna be. And so if you've got fucking problems, shoot them, kill them. Not if they're humans, but you know what I mean. Just tackle that shit, because I know how it is. I know how stressful shit can be. My fuel's low. I mean, there were years my dad didn't even make $100,000. Sure, we had a maid, but she only came 5 days out of the week. What do you think happened the other 3 days? I'm kidding. But it's crazy, the yin and yang of life. I think it's yin and yang, yin yang. But it's so true. There is no light without dark. And the brighter the light is, the darker the darkness is that it's attached to. So if you're going through something so shitty, just bite the fucking bullet. Slay whatever the dragon is, because the light is going to shine through. And I know most people in that situation, when they're in a shitty spot, nobody wants to hear that it's going to get better. Everyone just wants to feel heard and feel understood when they're stressed. Nobody really wants a solution in that moment. So if you're given the opportunity to give someone advice, just validate their feelings, as dumb as it sounds and as gay as it sounds. Be the person for them they can just feel understood by. And then later, you can present the solution. But in that moment, when someone comes to you with a problem, just be there with open ears at first. And then as they heal a little bit, which they will, and perhaps right even after you hear them out, you can insert your advice. But you need to just hear them out and validate. Be like, I get how you feel. That sucks. I'm sorry. You know? And then once you get that, you can move on and say that you'll kind of see them open up. They're gonna get into it a little more. They're gonna try and bring up other trauma and bullshit. But once they get through that, they're ready. They just had to get it out, you know? So I know that's all hypothetical and take it as you may, but I know shit gets really, really stressful. So all I do on this channel is I try to just do stuff and share what I learn from them, because that's how I can give value to someone watching one of my videos. Is I can go through some shit and I can talk about the shit that I learned from the shit. And so we're all on here. Nobody's making money from this shit. Well, that's not true. I'm not right now yet. You're not making money by watching my video. So why would you watch it? Because it could help you. And that's all I want the video to do. If you're just fucking lonely, just know it's gonna... I know I'm contradicting myself. I know you don't want to hear that. I don't want to even tell you, honestly, because you know. Something called Solomon's Paradox. So Solomon was a king or a prince, I'm not really sure. But he was known for giving life-changing advice. People would go to this man with their deepest, darkest problems and feel completely relieved when they left. Solomon had problems of his own, though. He had a terrible marriage. He cheated on his wife. He overindulged in drugs, in sex, in everything. But he gave the best advice. He just did not take any of the advice he gave out. And so most of the time, when you're going through some shit, you know the answer. You know the solution. You know it deep down. You just push it aside because it hurts. Because it's reality. And reality's always gonna sting. It's always gonna fucking sting when you get hit with reality. So sometimes you might want someone else's advice to feel valid and get approval, but you have all the answers. You gotta just step outside of your soul for a little bit, which fucking sucks. And you gotta stare at the answer and accept it. Or not. Time heals all wounds, so you're gonna grow out of it either way. But regardless, we want to get the fuck out of there as soon as possible. And so I'm kind of just yelling at myself in this video, really. That's all the channel is. Yelling at my past self, or even myself today. So once again, I hope this was fucking valuable, and have a great night.